John. He's not a Right, good afternoon everybody, and a very warm welcome. I'm the father of Fergus, for those of you that... The father of the bride thing is quite interesting, because I, as a father of 4 boys and 1 girl, I thought, right, done that, I'll never do that speech again. How wrong can you be? But I'm actually really honoured to be here to do this today. Let me welcome you first of all to this fantastic setting. I think you'll agree it's the most amazing place for a celebration. Some of you I know have travelled the length and breadth of the kingdom, and even further. I know that Ben and Fergus really appreciate the effort you've gone to. It's wonderful. I would like to just mention at this point that there are several members of the family, Jenni, Susie, Colin, Heather, my sister Sarah, who really wanted to be here but for one reason or another can't be. Now, really important bit, let me say a few words about Fergus. I didn't know whether I should mention the telephone incident at school when he was encouraged by some rather more strong-willed classmates to use the newly installed telephone in the classroom. It's a very small school, that the head teacher had. So he thought, yeah, it'd be good, I'll dial 999, see what happens. Can you do the lights as well? And a rapid response unit with lights and sirens turned up from 20 miles away, and basically he was in big trouble. But frankly, since then he's led a pretty unblemished life, and Jennifer and I are very proud of him. Right, he does go through a lot of cars. We've lost count of the number of cars he's acquired and disposed of thus far. The most notable phase he went through was the TVR phase. And he was on deployment somewhere in the Middle East, and he said, "Dad, can you give the car a run every now and then?" I took it out once. It was the most terrifying experience of my life. I only ever did it once. One of the things that you notice if you're on TV advertising, and people like Kazoo just order a car and it gets delivered to your house. I suspect he is he's probably one of the forerunners of getting your car delivered when he arranged for it to be shifted from Sunderland to Plymouth, courtesy of the Royal Navy's flagship at the time, probably one of the best known characteristics is his love of the sea and everything to do with the sea. And he's been on the water, or in the water, since about the age of 6. And his adolescent years were spent sailing dinghies from as far north as Chancery and as far south as Weymouth. But the highlight is actually an international sportsman, which is probably difficult to believe when you kind of connect him with his twin brother Tom. You're looking here at the Scottish 29er international team that sailed in the World Championships in 2006. Success. I was the dad who towed them around, everywhere, and they were heading out to the course, which is a good long way off from the newly built Olympic sailing centre, and they came back, and I thought there was some major gear failure. It was actually a spat over lost suntan lotion. The boats and sailing obviously have had a big influence in his life, led to him studying at Strathclyde for a degree in small craft engineering, joined the Royal Navy unit, getting his first taste of the possibilities of a career in the Royal Navy. And he showed the strength of his ambitions really early on. And in fact, there are some people in this room who witnessed this event. The unit patrol boat was helping out at Talbot Regatta, and Fergus noticed someone in Royal Navy uniform looking very lonely and standing on the side of the square. So he thought he'd be sociable and went and engaged him in the conversation. And after a few minutes, the band of the Royal Marines emerged around the corner and paraded up and down. He realised to his horror that he'd joined the Commodore of the Royal Navy in Scotland on a dais and was taking part of the party taking the salute. So he had to endure an uncomfortable few minutes. I think, did you acquire the nickname Flags after that? And then on joining the Navy, he's done many varied roles, but I think it's a testament to his character. I was talking to him recently at his stag do a couple of weeks ago, and he said one of the most satisfying experiences that he'd had was leading a shore party in the Caribbean of Marines and sailors to do hurricane relief. And so that was the highlight of his time. Those of you who have visited his cottage and used the facilities will possibly have noticed the brass plaque on the toilet seat. Yeah? And this seat is, well, it was a throne used by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II on the occasion of the decommissioning ceremony of HMS Ocean in 2018. It's a testament to his tenacity and determination that Fergus actually managed to acquire the seat before any of his colleagues in the wardroom. One of whom I think actually said that some thieving bastard has already got that seat. And it occurred to me that actually that particular artefact, given that we've now achieved the Platinum Jubilee year, might have significantly more value for it. So his connections with the sea, of course, continue, particularly in his volunteering with the RNLI. A few representatives here, I think. And all of this makes us, both Jennifer and I, incredibly proud of him. So that's Fergus. So now let me say a few words about Ben. First of all, I would like to compliment Chris and Sally at the back there, because I think they brought up one tremendous organisation. We first met Ben nearly 8 years ago, and he made a really positive impact on us from day one. We love his enthusiasm for absolutely everything that he does. We've seen his passion for wildlife on trips around the Farne Islands, around the Purbeck coast here, even around our garden pond. But what's really impressed us is how he shares that enthusiasm with everybody around, and particularly we see the way he captivates our grandkids. So Ben is amazingly talented, and he has a wide range of practical skills. We're always impressed with his creations. I have to say my favourite, although it's like a lot of projects, I think, a work in progress. So those of you again who've been to their cottage will have seen the very detailed map of the southwest of England with the beer bottle. All they've got to do is drink the beer and get the beer. But that absolutely fantastic thing. Jennifer and I think he would do really well if he set up in business selling his driftwood furniture, and then some of the stuff he's created, absolutely fantastic. And his stonewalling skills, well, you'll have walked past them today, and much in evidence at the back of the cottage. Again, kind of work in progress. But when it's finished, it's going to look really spectacular. Ben is also clearly very, very good at his job. We've enjoyed several visits to the shed just up the hill here. Those of you that don't know the area, it's well worth a visit if you can get there. But it's very clear, the work that he does here with people of all ages and abilities, that his practical skills are actually matched by his skills in relating to people. Here, here. So the bottom line is, Jennifer and I and our family think he's wonderful, and although he's been an integral part of our family for quite some time, I would like to take this opportunity to re-welcome him into our family. Ben and Fergus have a lot in common, but also they have unique and complementary attributes, and I think together they do make something of a dream team. So we see this whenever we see them together, and I think it becomes very apparent, and I think it was said in the ceremony earlier, they've absolutely transformed their home, but it's not just the physical side of it, it's the... I thought I wasn't going to blood, I was going to apologise ahead of time, but I do get very emotional. But it's the warmth of welcome that you feel when you go there. And I think they've actually made a wonderful life for themselves here in Swaffham. So before I conclude, pleased to hear, I'd like to mention my own partner in life, Jennifer. Many years ago, she found, it was kind of like, I don't know, poster thing, and pinned it on our kitchen notice board. And it's entitled 21 Suggestions for Success by a guy called H. Jackson Brown Jr., who's some American guy who'd been asked by a friend to put some suggestions together for this other guy's son who was going to college. And strangely enough, as he was just going to college, suggestion number one was marry the right person. This one decision will determine 90% of your happiness, and that, in my personal experience, is absolutely true. And I think, clearly, the decisions that Ben and Fergus have made for themselves, I have every confidence that they're going to have a long and happy life together. But there was one other suggestion that particularly struck me in relation to Ben and Fergus, and that is that to understand happiness is not based on possessions, power or prestige, but on relationships with people you love and respect. So, I would ask you all to be upstanding and raise your glasses to a long, happy and fulfilling life together from Fergus.
One thing that I missed off about Ben's lovely nature is the time he turned up to our house with a dolphin's head he hacked off with a spade. Actually happened. The next person I'd like to welcome to the stage is Jenni. Here she comes.
Hello. A speech, a talk to. It's not my bag. However, after 38 years, is that right? Reading stories, I might be able to read a story. So, I have got the lovely love story by Edward Monk, which has been adapted to make it appropriate. Let's find the page here. The fierce dinosaur was trapped inside his cage of ice. Although it was cold, he was happy in there. It was, after all, his cage. Then along came the lovely other dinosaur. The lovely other dinosaur melted the dinosaur's cage with kind words and loving thoughts and a blowtorch. I like this dinosaur, thought the lovely other dinosaur. Although he's fierce, he's also tender and he's funny. And he's also quite clever, though I'll not tell him this for now. Wow, I like this other lovely other dinosaur, thought the dinosaur. He's creative, he's different, and he looks so nice. He's also a free spirit, which is a quality that I much admire in a dinosaur. But he can be so pensive and so distracted at times, thought the lovely other dinosaur. And he is overly fond of things. Are all dinosaurs so overly fond of things? Those things might be fast cars and fast boats. But his mind skips from here to there so quickly, thought the dinosaur. He is also uncommonly keen on projects. Are all lovely other dinosaurs so uncommonly keen on projects? And rhinestone mowing? I will forgive his peculiarity in his things and his concern for things, thought the lovely other dinosaur, for they are part of what makes him a richly charactered individual. I will forget his skipping mind and his fondness for projects, thought the dinosaur, for he fills our life with beautiful thoughts and wonderful surprises and impressive creations and lots of dry stone walls. Besides, I'm not unkeen on projects either. Namely, that boat. Now, the dinosaur and the lovely dinosaur are old. Look at them. Together they stand on the hill, telling each other stories and feeling the warmth of the sun on their backs. And that, my friends, is how it is with love. Let us all be dinosaurs and lovely other dinosaurs together. For the sun is warm and the world is a beautiful place. The end.
With no further ado, the father of the other bride, Chris.
Well, hold on. I did make some notes. I would like to start by, hold on, I would like to start by congratulating Ben and Ferg on their special day. I would also like to welcome Fergus into the Tolley family. Well, I can tell a few stories about Ben. Ben, as a child, he wanted many things really, but I think his main demand was he wanted a dog. This went on for many years. This went on for many years. You know, I wanted a dog to his mother, to me. You know, and it went on and on and on and on. And in the end, I got hold of a farmer out Bratton Cavelli and went out and bought a dog secretly. Then, on the following Sunday, it was time to collect it. So I told Ben I was going to look at a tractor, which he didn't want to do because so I dragged him along, shouting and kicking all the way. And then I said, "Oh, come in the shed, let's have a look at this tractor then." "Oh, no, I'm not interested." Took him in, and there's the dog. I said, "Well, I've got this dog for you." So he promptly named it Fly, and he didn't care till, you know, that dog lived till it's 14, and it was his prized possession, really.
Chrissy, tell them about the snails. Ben loves snails. When he was young,
It's funny Ben's ended up here because his family home is right on the cliff top in the middle of nowhere, with lovely views of the sea, and this is like a mirror image, really.
It is.
But he went up the garden and collected a load of snails.
It was an ice cream tub.
Filled an ice cream tub with snails. Then the next morning, his mother went in his room and they were everywhere. Yeah, sort of another one when he wanted a dog. I said, oh, come to the car auctions with me because I buy a lot of cars, you know, because it's my trade. And took him up there, and all he wanted me to do was buy estate cars because he said you can put dogs in them. Oh, you also had many years of breeding tropical fish. This was all very well. He had big, huge tanks of tropical fish until we moved till I purchased Slough, and we was moving there, and obviously I had the logistics of helping him move all these bloody great tanks of fish. But luckily, I actually bought a furniture lorry just to move out. And that was handy to put bloody fish in. Anyway, I'll keep it short and sweet. I won't bore you any longer. Just like to propose a toast to Ben and Fergus. And thank you all for coming. It's funny, Ben's grandfather was a big naval man, and he's ended up with Fergus's in the Navy. His grandfather was in the Royal Navy, he was DSM in the Second World War, and he was famous for he was steering the HMS Exeter in the Battle of the River Plate, and he tried to ram the Graf Spray, and it's funny he's ended up with somebody in the Navy. Next was Fergus.